Bournemouth 1, Manchester United 1. Another disappointing game by United. And look, I just got in the door in time to watch the game. And I mean, it was a really poor game. It really was. And I think, look, we're to expect this between now and the end of the league campaign, to be quite honest with you. There's nothing really to play for. But we were hoping maybe a bit of fight, a bit of desire, a bit of hunger, to kind of lead us into the Europa League game next week. For large parts of that game, we didn't get it. I thought it was very disappointing. But look, we get the draw in the end. A couple of different things to talk about on the game, guys. Obviously, look, the Semenyo goal. I mean, I thought it was poor defending in the build up to it. Could Onana have got down maybe a little bit quicker? I've seen some people online saying he should have. I don't agree, to be honest with you. I thought there was enough power behind it. But Manchester United just don't create an awful lot, and we looked lacklustre and we looked very passive. And yeah, it was just another performance from a team who knows their league campaign is done and dusted. And you look, it's very disappointing. But I think the biggest disappointment was when Bournemouth went down to 10 men. Manchester United didn't really take the game by the scruff of the neck like they should have. And if anything, Bournemouth still looked relatively comfortable. Now, I know we put some pressure on at the end and we inevitably got the goal, but when you smell blood like that, you've got to go for it. But United didn't. They were backwards, they were sideways, they were, taking short corner, like the corner at the very end, when it's basically the last kick of the game. Get the ball in the box, but you're playing a short corner. Eventually it's overhit by Shaw and, the final whistle goes, just put it in. So it's decision making as well. But look, I'm happy for Rasmus Højlund. He gets a goal that, does he deserve it? I don't really know, to be quite honest with you. I'm happy he got it, and it means he will be bringing a little bit of confidence, hopefully, into Thursday night, because he will be starting. But again, for large parts of that game, he offered us very, very little. And even, I suppose, the short time that Cheetah Obi was on the pitch, the runs he was making were good. He looked direct. He got in one time down the inside left and, shook off the defender and got a kind of a toe poke away into the top left corner, and it was saved. Again, look, Rasmus Højlund looks like a player void of confidence and lacking, some real consistency in his game, and it's a big concern with the Europa League coming up. But individually, I mean, I thought defensively, I thought we were okay. I didn't think we'd done an awful lot wrong. I thought Yoro played well. I thought Maguire played well. Luke Shaw looked decent on the left-hand side as well. His first start in 400 and something days for Manchester United. And he got up and he stepped up into midfield later in the game when we were pressing. And look, we know he can do that. Wing backs, I mean, Matraoui, had a solid enough game, as he always does, 7 out of 10, week in, week out. Dorgu on the left, he needs to work on his crossing. I mean, a lot of the balls that he put in were being overhit. They weren't finding anybody. Yeah. And again, look, we know he's young and he's raw and he's got a lot to learn, but I think, I think he's got to improve certain aspects of his game. In midfield, Menu again looked a little bit of a threat in them pockets in the number 10 positions when he was, in tight areas. He got a couple of shots off in similar areas to the goal that he scored against Lyon. And look, neat and tidy, and it's good to see him getting a start now in the build up to the game. He was substituted as well. So, are you expecting him maybe to start on Thursday night? I hope so. I think he's one of the better midfielders that we have. Casemiro again, nothing wrong with him. Had a decent game. Again, got substituted. Probably looking to wrap him in cotton wool for the weekend, or for Thursday night. Bruno Fernandes was again probably our best player. He's the only one consistently that's putting in some good performances. Had a really good opportunity to score and was millimetres from putting it in the top corner late on. But again, he creates more than anything else, and he looks a threat. He's the only real top quality player that we have. And Garnacho, again, look, he didn't have a terrible game, but again, I'm looking at Garnacho at the moment and going, is he going to get us out of a hole? He's just not. He really isn't. And we can see why that forward line is such a high priority in the summer transfer window. We're really not good, lads. We're really, really not good. All over the pitch, we need to improve, and it's it's poor. It really is poor all around. I thought Mason Mount, getting onto the substitute, thought he looked sharp when he came on. He was unlucky not to score. There was a deflection. It looked like it was nestling in the side of the net. I thought Ugarte played well when he came on. Couple of really good runs going forward with the ball, trying to get us up the field. And, when your number 6 is doing that, players around you have got to look at that and say, right, come on, let's pick up the slack here. So I thought he done well when he's come on. Cheeto, I thought he played well. He looked, I was watching his movement for 5 or 6 minutes when he came on, and he's got really good movement within the box, dropping off, dropping and then going back forward across defenders but again, you need service, and you need good service when you've got players making good runs like that. Lindelof, decent enough, and Christian Eriksen come on, with a minute or two to go, so nothing really. But again, guys, I go back to what I've said. We're really not good. We're really, really not good. We're really not. I mean, improvements are needed in the summer throughout the entirety of that team. Goalkeeper could be improved. The back three could be improved. Right wing back could be improved drastically. The number 6 could be improved. The 2 number 10s could be improved, and the number 9 could be improved. There's a big overhaul needed in the summer. But again, it was a lackluster game, and one that it looked like both teams were just, trying. Well, United especially were just trying to get through and try and not lose. But look, it's a point gained. It keeps us in 14th place in the league table, 1 point above Everton. Spurs have a game in hand, so we drop down to 15th if they win their game in hand today against Liverpool, which they probably won't do, to be honest with you. So it looks like we'll stay in 14th. But again, guys, a lacklustre game. Not an awful lot of positives to bring into Thursday. The one thing I would say is that United kept going and we kept trying to score. And again, I think the red card and Bournemouth being down to 10 men probably helped us a little bit in that regard. But overall, another disappointing and lacklustre performance by Manchester United. And not a lot of positives to bring in to Thursday night. But it's a big week for Man United. It's Thursday night now. It's Europa League or bust, and we need a big performance. We'll have plenty of content coming up throughout the week, guys, as well. So make sure you're tuning in. Smash a like of the video. Subscribe if you're new. And I'll talk to you during the week. Take care.